My name's Donna Rutherford and this is my short story, Rip. Rip, noun. A stretch of fast flowing and rough water caused by the meeting of currents. Rip, verb. To tear or pull something quickly or forcibly away from something or someone. Oxford English Dictionary. There are 11 steps from your bedroom to the front door and 6 mailboxes till the end of our street. It takes 17 minutes to walk to St Clair Beach, and the cafe has 25 chairs with a view of the ocean. I am 45 years old and today is your 19th birthday. Early December. The doorstep of summer, yet the sun seethes like a tied dog. The air is hot asphalt, and the soles of my feet spike and burn as I shadow hop under shady trees along Bird Street. Cars laden with children and boogie boards pass on Victoria Road. A solo surfer rides an old bike, one arm loped over the board as he negotiates traffic and pedestrians. The Esplanade is a people watcher's paradise. Kids in togs playing in the water fountain, couples strolling, hands within hands, dogs on leads desperate for the ocean and the beach-bound elderly setting, memories adrift with the tide. I walk to the rail and watch the water. White Island stands sentinel beyond the breaks, a hunk of rock and guano beneath our horizon. Out at the edge, surfers float, waiting for the ride. Waves break and crash in foamy sets of 7, beating the sand. Push-pull, push-pull. Children paddle at the ocean's edge, delighting in waves that rush around dimpled knees. 3 shirtless boys throw a rugby ball, sprinting and diving, tossing and catching, eyes trained on bikinied girls, sunning like sleepy cats. The wooden rail is warm under my palms. I close my eyes and breathe. They say the first step to escape the mind is the simple act of breath. The smell of fried fish and garlic blends with briny air and suntan lotion. I breathe, but a car passes and Bob Marley is singing Stir Up. The stereo bass beats underfoot. I can't open my eyes because my breath is gone and my mind, forever looking backward, has taken over. I grip the rail till the car passes. The music fades. Ari, I've had enough. His room was musty, stale socks, sweat and something else. Something I decided to ignore till I knew how to address it. My heel squished a cigarette butt. I didn't bend down. Good for you. I opened the curtains roughly. Ari to Penny, get up and get dressed. We're going to church. He turned his back and pulled the duvet over his head. I mean, Ari, this can't go on. I hovered by the bed, surveying the lump under the covers. I'll stand here until you get up. Go ahead. When did this man-child take the place of my boy? Distant and disrespectful dark eyes and dark moods. Angry men in rock bands glared from postered walls, judging me. You're messing it up, they say. He's going astray. Sort it out, Mrs. Tupenny. I was sure he just needed time. Come on, Ari. A few thick black curls stuck out from under the duvet. I reached to touch them, but he recoiled like a snake. The backs of my eyes stung. Ari, please, would you just leave me alone, Mum? Just leave me the fuck alone. I did as he asked and left the room, closing the door too hard. Bob Marley's Redemption song answered my footsteps as I descended the 7 stairs and left for the beach to watch other people's sun in the sunshine and surf. It's nice to walk. The air is a balm and tension fades as my muscles stretch and warm. I walk in the hard sand where the tide pushes cool water around my toes. I keep my eyes forward, past the row of disappearing groins, past the dunes of St Kilda out to the headland. Orua Wairua. I must walk to the end where the gulls nest in rocky crevices and maidenhair seaweed whips and turns with the tide. Each step toward the headland brings the same stew of joy, grief and anger. Memories jagged like oyster shells prick my eyes and I stop, frightened by the sting. I push the heels of my hands into my eyes and colour bursts as silhouettes form, then dissolve in turquoise and cerise. I see you, a flash of white teeth and toffee skin. Your father, closed and dark, and me, a pale outsider. Our words are not yours, he'd say, but I try to make them mine, Ari. I try with my Pakia tongue to weave a rope of words that lead me to you. The beach is dotted with families, parents, children, friends, couples and lovers, so many variations on together. We follow the instinct to gather in group to avoid the curse of loneliness. I never asked you how you felt when our whānau became two. Was that the beginning of our rip? Unlike my numbers, there are no rules to shape what comes next. I remember the gentle tone of the school counsellor. We understand there's a change in circumstance, Mrs. DePenny. Does Ari see his father? There's been a shift in his behaviour. We suspect marijuana. I could have told them the shift was when they locked up your father. I could have said I was afraid. Should have asked what to do. Instead, I thanked him and said nothing. Orua Wairua extends in a gentle nod to the ocean. Gulls' wings glint in afternoon sun, hovering on pockets of air. They glide where groups gather to admire the view, pointing out to Tomahawk Beach and beyond. Below, the waves are deep and desolate, thrashing on the rough rock that once resembled the profile of a man. When you were little, we'd cycle on summer nights, when heat blanched from the sky and radiated from asphalt. We'd ride along John Wilson Drive. You would fly along the flat, giddy with speed till you reached the incline. We'd push our bikes to the top, lay them on the grass and go to the lookout. You said ghosts flew around the cliff singing sad songs at night. Kids had told you, kuhua of those who jumped. Excuse me? I start lost in thought. A young mother looks to me, shading her eyes from the sun. Do you know what time it is? It's a little thing, feeling useful, but it's nice. It brings me back and reminds me to breathe. It's 22 after 2. Thank you. She squints into the glare, her slender arm gestures to the water. My boys have been in there for hours. I follow her gaze to where 2 boys play on boogie boards, kicking and paddling, riding to shore on whitewash. Enjoy. This is Dunedin. The weather will have changed by evening. Yes, she says, it probably will. Something ripples below her skin, her eyes widen and limbs jerk and tense. She runs to the water, shouting a child's name. In seconds, she's waist-deep, staggering through sloshy waves. A child screams, clinging with one hand to his board, waving furiously with the other. Each wave propels the board and his small body backward, further out into the angry current of a rip. Sucked quickly into the tide, her head jerks toward me, eyes pleading above the pitch of her voice. Please help me. The ocean sucks the shore from under my feet as a swell washes over, drowning her pleas. There is danger in delay, but I'm frozen with fear as the traitorous tide pulls the boy with each wasted second. The other child is out of the water, crying and shivering. Stay here, I shout, fierce with fright, wading into the shock of icy water. My chest tightens in the effort to breathe as I focus on the diminishing figure of the boy. For a flashing moment, I'm the eyes of the hovering gull. I see me, the mother, and the drifting boy, flailing in the waves that push us back and draw him away. I swim, skirt dragging, sunglasses balanced like useless high beams. Sideways, I pull an arm from the water to signal right, kick sideways, but the words catch the current and are gone. He doesn't kick sideways, but clings in desperation to the board. Let the rip take you, I shout to the mother, pointing out to the boy. She must reach the board and hold on, or panic will pull her under. My life funnels to this single moment. Help us, please help us. Her voice, between the rise and fall of waves, face contorted by a mother's worst fear. She can't save her child. Her fear ignites, flickers and ripples, travelling in a direct line to my heart. I fight for control within the power of the rip, thinking if I can do this one thing, it hasn't been for nothing. Hold on to the board. My voice is shrill, cawing the command. Again and again the boy holds. Closer. I see his eyes clamped shut, cheek pressed against the yellow board. The rip has dragged his mother to him. She grabs the board but is panicking and thrashing. Kick to the right, kick, kick. Her ears are filled with the ocean. She does not kick. Takaroa, have mercy. My chest is packed, tight in terror that life can flip so suddenly. Chaos from calm, death replacing life, no explanation. Anger swells, mixing with fear, fueling adrenaline. Time is opaque. I reach the board and grab it, flipping on my back, eyes to the sky, kicking sideways, kicking and kicking and kicking. Screaming and crying mix with salt water in my ears, and I watch the sky. I ask now, I ask like I didn't before. Save the life of this boy. A boy whose day is not today. My breath comes ragged, legs weary and weak. A wave breaks over our heads and Orua Wairua appears. Gulls and ghosts on the headland. I watch the contour where the land meets the ocean and say your name, Ari. The undertow is changed from push to pull. A gentle eddy of undercurrent bobs us forward, 3 drenched, shaking bodies drifting back to shore. We are free of the rip and the tide returns us. My joy is clear and cold as the water. The rough sand is heaven. As we stumble from the shallows, I'm on my knees. The sobbing mother embraces me, the boy too. 3 drenched, tangled bodies lucky to be alive, sandwiched in the middle of their relief and gratitude. Intensity of feeling takes form, becomes physical. He, Wairua, passes an embrace from them to me, and I know what to do. I'll bring it to you. I waste no time retracing my steps home. 17 minutes from beach to home, 6 mailboxes to pass, 7 stairs to your bedroom. I knock on the door. Ari, you don't answer. You never do. I'm 45 years old and today is your 19th birthday. I sing happy birthday, and I know this will surprise you because for 2 years the singing has stopped. Reminded of the capacity for gratitude, the fight to hold and treasure life, I open the door. The room is bright and light, golden yellow from the kofi tree by the window. I breathe and I breathe. Your picture on the shelf smiles reluctantly. You were 17. I hold the frame, sit on the bed and sing Rafana Kia Koe, and out at Oraya Warua you fly with the gulls.